video, I'm going to teach you 3 of my favorite ways to extend a set or just get quality work sets here. I like using these for gaining muscle size, so hypertrophy. These are great to do with a lot of like machine-based work. So in this video, it's going to be the leg press, but you can do it with a lot of machine-based because obviously the safety is there because you're on the machine. You don't have to worry so much about failing free weight. The machine also kind of locks you in a movement pattern. So as you start to really grind it and push through things, form is less likely to break down, so it allows you to extend the set. But you can use this with certain things like back squats and all that stuff for leg growth. But I like using a lot of these techniques here, like rest pauses, the drop sets, the mega sets, to really just drive muscle growth, drive internal muscular stress without having too much fatigue or a lot of risk of injury. Obviously we have to make sure we're always doing proper things, but that's really how I like to use this. And I'll use this on maybe my last set of the day or my last 2 sets of the day, depending on how many sets I'm doing. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5. So we're gonna jump in here and I'm gonna show you, this is from 2 weeks back to back. So the first week I was just kind of doing regular straight sets, which we'll see here. The next week then I introduced just 1 mega drop set on the leg press, so multiple drop sets in a row to kind of finish the last set off. And then on my 3rd week, I used some rest pauses there, and I'll probably do that again next week. And I used rest pauses to extend, get a little more extra reps on my last 2 out of 5 reps on the leg press. So real quick for you guys, we get into it here. Make sure you guys subscribe down below. Leave me comments, any questions you have on this. But this method, aside from just obviously, you'll see in the first one here about using proper forward range of motion, controlling the eccentric, using the muscles that we're intended to be using. So in this, I'm trying to build the quads, and this has helped out a lot with my quad strength and also size. So making sure we're doing all that, and then we can add these advanced techniques. So we're gonna jump in here, and let me know if you have any questions, and let's get. All right, so in this one here, this is from my first week of the program, so I was doing leg presses, and this is gonna be straight set. So I'm doing a straight set, which basically means I'm just doing, your 8 to 10 reps. That's kind of the rep range I'm working on with the leg press here to start. I'm really focusing on putting my legs a little lower on the platform, making sure that I'm controlling the eccentric, really focusing on knee flexion so I can really get those quads to go. I'm not trying to bounce out of the bottom. I'm not trying to hit the rack. I'm not trying to get momentum. I'm just loading on the way down and then pressing on the way out, keep my hips on the pad there. And this is great to use with the leg press, the hack squat machine, and really any type of machine, just focusing on that nice low eccentric. All right, so this set actually is going to be using something called the rest pause protocol at the end. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to perform a straight set like I have done in the past. Right, again, I'm trying to be shooting about 8 here. So I'm using 8, still focusing on good precision on the way down, really focusing on my knee flexion, feeling the quads, loading them up, driving out of there. Now, instead of finishing my set at 8, I'm going to quickly rack it, and I'm going to stay loaded in the machine. I'm going to catch my breath. Maybe it's 15 seconds or so. And what I'm thinking about here is I'm going to catch my breath just enough to kind of reset my mind and try and squeak out a couple more reps, which I can then take this. So last time I was doing it, I was getting sets at 8. Well, now I stopped at 8, but instead of taking a big long rest period, I'm going to take about 15 seconds, and then I'm going to unrack the weight, and I'm going to get a couple more reps. And these are going to feel heavy, but it's great because we're on a machine, so in case we fail or if you have a partner there. But really focusing on locking in your body, locking in the position, getting that full range of motion, coming all the way up, and getting those extra couple reps to sneak out a little more metabolic or metabolite buildup and a little more stress within that body, specifically in the quads. All right, so in this last one, this is a mega drop set. And what that is, what it looks like, so typically a drop set is going to differentiate itself from a rest pause set in the fact that we're just going to quickly strip the weights off and then get right back into it, not trying to rest too much. Now, because I'm by myself, I'm going to have to get up and walk around and do it. So it's kind of like a rest pause because it's I have to kind of take time to get the weight off. But nonetheless, we're calling this a mega drop set. If you have partners, they can strip the weight off and you can sit there and just hang out. So I finished my reps. This is my last set here. I'm doing, again, sets 8 to 10. Then I'm going to just, for me, I like just taking the plate off, right? But it might be anywhere between 10 to 20%. I'm going to strip it off. I'm going to get a couple more reps. And then I'm going to continue to do that, taking the weight all the way off. Usually about 3 drops or so is what I like. And I'm trying to keep maybe one good technical rep, meaning one rep that I can still go forward range of motion, I can still get knee flexion, I can still feel the muscles. I'm not blacking out on it and just slamming the weight, because at the end of the day, this is about building muscles. So I leave one in the tank usually when I do these until I get to the end. And at that point, you don't have to do too much more, because your quads should be shot if you're doing this on a leg press. But if it's a Smith machine bench press, or a back row, whatever it is, I really like using machines for this type of training, because you don't have to worry so much about your technique, if you will, like you would in a free weight. Sometimes we can get by with swing and momentum, this and that. So the machine really locks you in here. If you're really diligent, you can do drop sets or rest pause sets on a lot of your big compound lifts with the bar or with free weights, but making sure that you're not turning them into getting some cheat reps in there just to get reps, because this is all about hitting that muscle and just continuing to get muscle stress and damage. So I'm actually going to just play some music here, let this go, because this is about a 4-minute mega drop set. It's a long haul, and you guys kind of just follow along and see what happens here. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, that was showing you how to use straight sets, which again, I use straight sets a lot. I'm not a huge fan. A lot with supersetting things. I might superset here and there, but I find sometimes, supersets, they are time efficient. But if people are really struggling to put on a mass and size, they might need to just put in more quality work sets, use their rest periods instead of running around, and making sure that they're getting recovery between sets so they can push those sets to intensity and they can get quality work volume instead of just doing a bunch of work and it's low quality. So again, that's kind of my take. That's why supersets aren't in here. Now I do like to use straight sets about 80% of the time, and then I'll use straight sets plus a drop set, or straight sets plus a rest pause set, and I use it maybe for one exercise, maybe 1 to 2 sets throughout the week total per muscle. All right, so I find that again, I like to do this with machine-based work. I like to use it with unilateral-based work. I do not do it a lot with the heavy compound lifts, just because I train those more for strength, and that would just be a lot of exhaustion and a lot of fatigue, maybe neural fatigue, joint fatigue, overall systemic fatigue, and not a lot of, you're still getting stress, obviously, muscular stress, but it's kind of dispersed throughout the whole system. And what I like to be doing when I'm trying to drive muscle hypertrophy is I like to get all that high stress stimulus within the muscle itself, and kind of keeping fatigue down on the other end in terms of neural fatigue or joint fatigue, all that stuff, because when I can keep the fatigue down on the lower end, I can start to recover better, and I can train harder and train more specific and get the results that I'm looking for. So that's how I use these guys. Hope this was helpful for you. Again, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Check out the links below. If you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments. I'm also very active on Instagram at Mike J. Doer. So until next time, try this out with some machine-based work. Let me know how it goes, and just get out there, build some muscle, have fun.